Let's go.
50 people waiting. Cheers. Cheers. What are they waiting on? The goodness of the Road Trippin crew. Welcome back to Road Trippin, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Go download the Fanatics Sportsbook app right now to keep up with all the cool stuff Road Trippin and Fanatics have cooking up together. As we get this show on the road, Allie Clifton here in the Road Trippin studios, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson on the road, literally. Kendrick Perkins is not with us. He is under the weather. We will hope to see him next week. But shout out to Big Perk the Plug when it comes to emojis. You guys already know what to do. You've been here every Tuesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. We are live here for about an hour. We've often talked about extending it to possibly an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Ooh.
We don't know. Channing is, the jury's still out on
you
Channing.
Like the money you getting? You like that?
Shut up.
You like that money?
I don't want to be around you for 2 hours. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
You're so pleasant
cute.
yourself. You are an absolute joy. Trust me. Trust me.
Allie, always the most dedicated to be in studio. Well, with that said, I'll continue to read the chat when you send compliments my way. I am the frog emoji. Channing has decided he's going to be the fry. Get it? Channing Frye emoji. Aw. W-I Fidelity. That sounds like a corporation. He's shouting out Channing Frye. And then the egg. I think everyone just wants to settle on the egg for you. Lose the eagle.
That's fine. Look, the bald eagle, I get it, right? That was my younger days.
That's Kyle Korver.
Yes. That was Kyle Korver? I didn't know.
He has a gigantic rib tattoo of an eagle.
Remember? Channing and I sat down with Kyle Korver.
I never looked at his body. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Channing.
You were on the team at the time,
he
Richard.
took his jersey off one time, and I said, "Holy crap, you have a tattoo?"
I didn't know that you were watching people when they get undressed. I didn't know.
Oh, yes. My favorite pastime.
Before or after you stuck your entire finger in the guac.
Notes.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So we're not paying
they literally were just talking straight through me. That's fine. Yeah. I love you. Perk wants to know, or people in the chat want to know, if Perk was celebrating Draymond's birthday in Houston last night. No, I don't think Perk was doing that. However, I almost didn't make it. I just want you guys to know before we dive into a lot of NBA action. I just want you guys to know that I almost didn't make it back from Houston because the rodeo was going on. Last night we promoted it on our Prime broadcast. We will talk about Rockets Warriors. What a finish. But we promoted the rodeo several times. And I just want you guys to know I may or may not have been in the wrong arena. Because have you guys been to a rodeo? Channing, I know your ass has been to a rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Acting like I'm crazy for wanting to be there. Rich, what's that scout for?
Rodeo's a good time. It is not what people think. I mean, it is, but it's way more fun than people think.
Who do you think, chat, I need you guys to let me know via the emoji. Who do you think would last longer on a bowl? Allie, Channing, or Richard? Vote via the emojis.
This is what I like. I think Allie's always questioned my southwestern roots, and then she started to realize like all the trucks and vehicles that I have. Channing's the same way. He's a truck guy. He likes it. That's the Southwest. That's the Southwest in him. Even though he's a private school kid from Chandler, that's the Southwest.
Are we in the championship though, Richard?
What?
Is St. Mary's in the championship game?
You guys are a private school that can recruit kids. The fact that you guys weren't there every year was stupid.
I just want you guys to know this is what happens when they know that they would not last longer than me on a bowl. They change the subject because
I'm not getting on a bowl. I'm not getting on it. You win. You win.
You're boring. Go hit the poll. Go hit the poll.
Right now, I'm the first voter, and I'm 100%. I'm 100% leading.
Oh, I'm catching up.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, we're not reading the comments. We're going to road run. Dude, that's what we're going to do right now.
There's a lot of jokes there, Allie.
This is where Allie's going to be disciplined, and she's going to stay in her lane. We're going to start. LeBron James surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most field goals in NBA history. 15,838 career field goals in his unprecedented 23rd NBA season. I don't know if you guys saw this. When asked about setting yet another NBA record, Bron said, quote, "My name being mentioned with some of the greatest to ever play this game has always been humbling and pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. I grew up watching and reading, idolizing a lot of the greats. And if I ever was able to be a part of the NBA, I wanted to be in a position where I could be named with some of the greats by doing something right." Lakers coach JJ Redick said he's been a complete player for 23 years. Did you guys ever get a sense or when it came to playing alongside LeBron, he did say his prime year was probably in 2018. So you guys had some of his glory years as well. Did it ever feel like he was ever chasing records, or is this just naturally a result of how the man plays the game?
You can't chase 22 years of 25 points a game. You can't chase that. You can't, like, you know what? I've always wanted to be faster than Usain Bolt. Certain things you just can't chase. You got to have the ability to do things, and then we're kind of watching it, and you're like, oh shit, dude might be able to do something. But no, his thing has always been about winning, playing the right way. I love that his 10-point a game streak ended. No. I'm saying I love that it ended on, he could have, and this is what people don't understand. On that shot, if he would have missed it, right, he would have had 5 more minutes because they were up. Or excuse me, the score was tied. So a miss sends you to overtime, if I'm correct. So if he would have missed that, he could have made it, got the 10-point streak alive. He missed it, he goes to overtime to get 5 more minutes. What does he do? He makes the right play. He makes the right play. That right there is the ultimate show of, like, hey, there's a lot of options. If I'm calculated, I shoot this, streak stays alive. I miss this, we go to overtime, I got 5 more minutes to keep the streak alive. Or I make the right play, Rui knocks it down, we win the game, who gives a shit about the streak? That's the ultimate sign of, is he chasing things? There were multiple scenarios there to keep that streak alive, and he chose the right play, the right pass. Same with Kyle Korver, same with different shots, in game 6. There's so many opportunities, game 5. There's so many opportunities for him to chase stats that he plays the game, but he plays it at such an elite level that you look up and you're like, oh, well, he's got 25 points again. What did they say? They said that there was a streak where if you take out all of the points, all of the games where he scored under 20, he would still be the leading scorer all time in history.
No, above 20.
You saw that too?
If you take all of the points, all the games that he scored under 20, the 200 games or whatever he scored under 20, he would still be the leading scorer.
That is insane.
It's insane. My thing is this, is also like, if he wanted to, he could be like, you know what, I just want to get 40 every night. When in his prime. Now he's 40, you can't say that. But like, when a guy, okay, so here's something that I'll say. When you look at players that go to the NBA Finals 10 straight years, they lead in 1, maybe 2 things. Bron was leading both teams in multiple NBA Finals in every single category. You can't chase that. Yeah, because other people are experts at those things, and he's still better than them at that. If that makes any sense. There are guys whose their one job is to score, and he's leading a team in scoring. Then you have big men who are rebounders, who it's their specific job to rebound, and he's out rebounding them. Then you have guys who are assist guys, and he's getting more assists than them. And then you say, oh, he's not playing defense, but then he's leading it in steals and blocks. So it's like, he doesn't really play like that. I think at times he's very calculated about like, okay, I need to score here because of X, Y, and Z. He plays chess while a lot of us play checkers. Some of us are trying to start, and I've said this story before. I don't know if I've never played with a player who is not just playing to win games or win championships, but to be the greatest player ever and actually have a chance to do that. Like when you put that in your mind,
it's like he's trying.
Yeah, even Steph Curry goes, yeah, I'll never be the greatest player ever. Brown goes, yeah, I do have a chance.
I could. I have a chance. Like
speaking of that,
that's ridiculous.
Wemby's like that too. Wemby's like that. Like Wemby's like, bro, if you reach your ceiling, know you could be a top 5 player of all time. Most people in our chat, most of us, like we're just surviving.
An all-star.
Like all the people, like there's people in our chat, Bron's trash. It's like, bro, I wish you could wake up and have a speck of the stress of fucking the NBA, Nike, all the things, and it's just like, I'm just gonna go out there and
you may not like him, but to say trash, just be like, he's not my guy.
There are 2 types of people in this world. There are the Richards that see that in the chat. He pulls out those comments in the chat, and then there's Allie's. Chanting on a bull is like a giraffe riding a bike. It's not going to end well.
Yeah.
I actually I love that.
Giraffe on a bike?
I just want you guys to know that it's taken us about 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. That's a little dramatic before I tell you to hit the like and subscribe button. That's just your reminder, obviously, to make sure that you don't miss it every single time we go live Tuesdays and Fridays. Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And I just realized last week that, yeah, you just hit the X on the chat button and then you go hit the like, the thumbs up. A little basketball starts bouncing, which is really cool. Go check that out. We appreciate it.
Let me do it.
Always.
I'm going to do it now. We are at 82. We are now at 83.
82. We are now at 83. I do want to shout out a listener on the audio side because I think we have invested so much time in the YouTube that we love so much, obviously being able to engage with all of you. Our girl, Shantria James, just want you to know that we are paying attention and we hope to serve your needs as well as you're listening on your commutes and your drives. So thank you for your feedback. All right, moving on. Golden State Warriors outlasted the Houston Rockets 115-113 in overtime Thursday night without Steph Curry. Did you guys watch this game, by the way? You guys able to catch this one?
I was traveling to Oklahoma City.
Warriors were up 3 with about 30 seconds left in overtime when Kevin Durant was fouled on a three-point attempt, made 2 of the 3 free throws. Golden State got the rebound. Melton made a tip-in layup with just over 5 seconds left to push the lead to 3. Fouled KD again to avoid the three-point play. He missed 1 of 2 free throws, giving Golden State the win. I do just want to say this. It was one of the craziest things. KD going into that game, he's on the verge of quite possibly his third 50-40-90 season. He's at 50-plus, 40-plus, and at 89.1%, he had made 33 straight free throws going into that game. And you know Grady, Rich, Michael Grady on the call, one of the best voices. He hit the broadcast jinx.
Grady, you can't do that, Grady. You can't do that.
It was so
Kevin.
funny.
Did he give him with the announcer jinx? Did he give him with the announcer
Candace
jinx?
and D-Wade got him so bad. It was so funny.
Oh,
but, yeah, obviously something we're not used to seeing from KD down the stretch. Are the Rockets the dark horse in the Western Conference? Or are they missing something to be real contenders? They are now 1-6 in overtime games this season, guys, and they are 16-18 in the clutch.
Their offense looks very your turn, my turn. And I know we said, like, hey, Van Vliet going down was huge, and maybe these guys can piecemeal it. None of them are point guards except for Reed Shepherd. I love when he's in that game, right? To me, balling, but he's also, he understands his role, right? I remember at the beginning of the year, Ime was like, you know, they were like, would you ever switch Amen Thompson for Reed in the starting lineup? And he was like, never. But now he's going to have to figure out a way to keep Reed in that damn game because Reed is the one looking for other people while Amen is being athletic, KD, Sengun. But their offense looks gross for big stretches of the game. It's like KD will do his thing, and then Sengun and Parker will Jabari Smith will like just stand in a corner. I keep saying
that was
Parker,
a throwback name.
I know. And like it just doesn't seem like they've had a lot of time to kind of figure it out or how to work. And it just doesn't look like it's naturally going to happen. So you need to put somebody in that situation that's going to do it for them. So that's what I think.
This team is tough. They have some, it was like a week ago, it was them in Cleveland had the most double-digit comeback wins. Where they'd been down double digits and came back to win. I think we mentioned this on the pod before. So there's an incompleteness to what they have. And when we had them projected to be one of those dark horses, that was Van Fleet included. We looked at Phoenix. They have more than enough talent. This is the thing I like about where the league is right now. Let's go top to bottom. Detroit, they still have questions. They don't have a primary secondary scorer. The Knicks, they're somewhat unproven, but they are legit. Boston, obviously, there's questions about Jason Tatum and can they win. Now on the other side, San Antonio, unproven. Denver, they're still working out the kinks. They are great. San Antonio, or excuse me, Houston, there's a little bit unproven about them. OKC is proven, but you also want to see the
Like
collective
health.
help of health of J Dub and all of these guys. Like wrist injuries and these things, like we know he's gonna be ready to play, but ultimately there's just questions through all the top 8 teams, 4 in each conference. There's questions about it. Not saying that Denver can't win a championship, not saying that OKC isn't the favorite, but there's enough going in to the playoffs to say there's not a clear cut no doubt if this team stays healthy they're going to be 100% winners. OKC, you can say that, but also they had a game 7 against Denver, they had a game 7 against Indiana. So even when they won the championship, it wasn't like this clear smooth cut. They
Right.
started off 24-1, just like the Golden State Warriors. Everyone's talking about 73 wins, but don't forget that team didn't win a championship either. So there's nothing that is clear cut. This is not 2015 to 2018 where it's Warriors and it's Cavs. See you there. It's not Boston being so elite. Okay, they're going to get there. There's not that. That it's parity, and I think it's been exciting to watch.
Let
Do
me
you
ask
think
you this.
Minnesota? Oh, go ahead. I was going to say,
I'm just
do
going
you
to
have
ask you this real
Minnesota?
quick question about Houston. I want your guys' take on this because there is youth there, right? And when you think you're without Fred VanVleet, you're without Steven Adams. When people are like, they're missing, I've seen it in the chat, and obviously we know the conversation surrounding those two important individuals. Meeting with Ime before the game yesterday, he made the comment of, what is it he's looking for out of his squad here down the stretch? And he says consistency, and a lot of it comes down to the little things of like KYP, understanding assignments, understanding roles, understanding tendencies throughout the course of a game. And so does that factor into the youth that they are rolling with right now? And could that be a factor come the postseason despite having a Kevin Durant? I just feel like you don't talk a lot about the youth with them right now.
Well, wait, consistency.
You're right.
Consistency. Yeah. So if you are 60 games into the season, Reed, this is his first year as a full-time NBA player.
Yep.
Right? Thompson, he's new. Jabari Smith, these are all new spaces where it's like not that, hey, we can prove that we can win, but like proving that you can win games is different than proving that you can win a championship. Right? Those are different things. Kevin Durant is proven, right? They have elite guys, but young teams, that was OKC 2 years ago, right? That was, you look at San Antonio this year, you look at like young teams have that. That's why you see we're down double digits and we come back. We're down double digits. That's a season sample size. They are either 1 or 2 in being down by 10 points and coming back to win. What does that indicate? That means that they get down and they figure it out. They get down and then they figure it out. Why are they down double digits so many games when you have this elite team? It's
That's
because
fair.
they haven't been consistent. Consistency comes with more veterans. They have a lot of young players, right? That's the end of the story.
I love it. So we're moving on because Channing, you were bringing up Minnesota. I want to go there next because there are people in the chat as well talking about the Timberwolves now being the 3 seed. They've won 5 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10. What's your question when it comes to the Timberwolves?
I know Perk brought it up. Like, golly, are they getting enough respect? And after watching the last couple games, they have been putting on an absolute show. It has been crazy to see that team for me, if they could keep this type of defensive intensity, but like still be hot the way they are, I think they can compete with anyone. And they've shown that, right? I think that's obvious. But I also think, I really think that we have to start putting them in that same breath as the San Antonios, as the, I don't want to say OKC, as the Denvers, because I think that they are going to be a bad matchup for teams in those first couple rounds.
Who are we talking about?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
As you're telling everyone, mom jeans for life in the chat, in the comments.
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to be the mom jeans of NBA analysts, and it's like,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but I like mom jeans. I like mom jeans. I think getting to the conference finals those 2 years in a row, they do have a great team, but it's like I still look at this team with questions. If you told me that this team could make another conference finals run, that this team could get to the NBA finals, I would believe it. I just would, if you're looking at basketball history, these aren't always my opinions. Basketball history says that a team that's 5, 6, 4 in that range, they have trouble if they had to play Denver in one round, play OKC in another round, and then play. I just haven't seen that type of consistency throughout the season from Minnesota. Doesn't mean that they're not elite. Doesn't mean that Ant isn't an all NBA player, like first team all NBA player. Like if his team was number 2 or number 1, he'd be in the MVP race. And
Yeah.
they're not. So his numbers say MVP, their stats don't, or their record doesn't. He can have this exact same numbers and be 1 or 2, he's MVP. You're 4 or 5, you're in the conversation. You're 5 or 6, you're just all NBA.
He has been, I mean, I watched, because if I can't make a game, I'll watch like the highlight or, like the thing on NBA TV. Holy shit, he was going to work the other night, and it was a masterclass. I was like, this dude is playing like prime Kobe.
No, thank you.
It was wild.
I will say, no, we have not had our Spurs conversation. We're going to get to that in a couple of minutes, but I did like this comment from Gregory Delone. Apologies if I'm butchering that. 8394. Not going to lie, Minnesota, the only team I'm worried about as a Spurs fan. And then we have Manny A. Jr. I feel like Ant-Man needs one more piece, I think, to take it all the way. What do you think it is? Experience or another dynamic dual threat piece?
You need a backup center that's like a rim runner and a threat other than Rudy Gobert. I hate saying it. Rudy's been doing solid, but like people killing him in the playoffs. Give me somebody tall and bouncy who's defensively, who can switch. I don't know what it is about Rudy sometimes in the playoffs. So they just be going at him. I think if they had that, I think they'll be fine. Julius seems happy. They got Mike Conley. They got their whole team back. They're dangerous.
Rich, thoughts? Before we move on?
No.
Rich is not here. Rich is not
right
here.
here.
Kevin's not here.
I'm right
Kevin's
here.
not here. Kevin's not here. Name that movie.
You guys not? Kevin!
Kevin! Anything more on the Minnesota conversation before we move on?
Nope.
No, but I think that when we talk about if we point at Rudy Gobert, they've got Naz Reid, they've got Julius Randle, they've got 3 bigs, right? And if you're just like, yes, Rudy, that's his specialty, right? Defense. But if you got to go small and versatility, you have Julius Randle that can play the 4-5. You can go Julius Randle and Naz Reid as a stretch. So we can say like, oh, Rudy has to do a better job. But you can also say, hey, he's gonna sneeze 3 times.
Yes.
I mean, did you have to do it pointing directly down into the microphone?
That's what
The
I'm saying.
microphone is.
But my point is that they have enough bigs that if we just point to Rudy, if they got to take Rudy off so that they could switch across the board, they got Julius Randle and they got Naz Reid. So we can't make excuses and always just point to Rudy that they need another big. They got 3 bigs. They got a 6th man of the year, they got an all NBA, and they got a defensive player of the year. Those are their 3 options. If you start me with those 3 options as a coach, I'm gonna figure it out.
Rudy and Nas are iffy defensively at times. Very iffy.
Different defensive deficiencies, though. They're different. Right. Their defenses deficiencies are different. That's where you can be like, okay, you can kind of handle things. You can handle things on the perimeter when we need that. When we got Jokic, when we got these guys, that's when we're going to lean on Rudy. It's the versatility. Channing, when we were fortunate, when we played against Golden State, I played. When we played against Atlanta, you and Kevin played. That's the versatility that Minnesota has. So when you look at it, they got guards that can defend. They got an elite scorer. They got an all-NBA big and scorer. They got all of the pieces. So why are they where they are? That is the whole conversation, and that's where I'll leave it.
Better than spraying the screen, Allie? Okay. I want to say that the chat is on fire today. We love it. The amount of blessings that Channing just got for all the sneezes that he had. I do want to entertain those that are driving in the car, though, on the audio side and have no idea what's going on with the chat. Will you guys give me one of your favorite stories from your 2016 Cavs championship day before we go to our ad break? A favorite story that hasn't been told.
Oh.
We're going to do it on the other side of the ad break after we get the likes.
Oh, because you guys aren't.
I got to think about that. That's 10 years ago, Allie.
I got some good stories.
Oh,
See,
God.
he's got to get his thoughts together. And for all of you that are listening and watching, it's now time to take a moment to check in with our partners. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, it's Friday. Big matchups, national TV games, rivalries, revenge spots. The kind of night where you're locked in from tip-off to late game. Before you lock anything in, check this out. Every Friday, our official Road Trippin' weekly picks go live in the Fanatics Sportsbook app. We're talking the games we're watching, the lines we like, the spots where we see value. You can tail the show, bet with us, build your own parlay off our picks, whatever your style is. If we're riding with it, you can ride with us. Now, while you're in the app, make sure you check out FanCash Drops. It's a free-to-play game every Friday where you can win up to $10,000 in FanCash. And about 1 in 4 players win something. It's free. Takes 2 seconds. Literally, there's no reason not to play. Then take that FanCash and put it to work. Use it on bets, throw it on a profit boost, stack it up for something bigger, or spend it at Fanatics.com on your favorite team's gear. Your call. Weekly picks, FanCash Drops, real rewards. That's the Friday routine. It's Fanatics Sportsbook. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE. NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook. Where are we going? All right, we are back. We are back, and before we get into our Road Trip and Pick segment brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook, which is a fun one, are you guys ready to tell your favorite memory? Great job with the ads, Allie. Love you. Thanks.
Yes.
You're ready?
Great
what do you
job
got, Channing? Give us a story time.
I don't have one because I was only there 25 games.
Yes,
Like
God,
I wasn't even there a full season.
Richard?
I can tell you some Orlando stories.
No, God, no one cares about that. What I would say is this. I think the funniest time is Channing and I, we would always go to dinners, but it was more of like the group dinners. Channing and I would do our thing. We would go someplace, we'd go meet up. And one time our whole team was grumpy. Bron was grumpy. Everybody was grumpy. Everybody's being, so Channing and I was like, we're not going to dinner. We're not going to go to dinner. We're going to go eat dinner or do something else, but we'll go meet up with the guys later for drinks. So we go to dinner. And we all, like, it was just me and Channing, and there's probably like Bron and a few other guys. So we're like, okay, screw those guys. We're gonna go to dinner. We go to dinner ourselves. We come back. Bron might have been a little tipsy, and he came over like a 2-year-old. Was like, guys, I'm sorry I was grumpy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm you know what I'm talking about, dude.
Yes.
He just came over to Channing,
like
he sees us walk in, and he comes over to. Guys, man, I'm sorry I was grumpy, man. I just, I just get I'm trying to do a better job of like holding my emotion. I just get grumpy sometimes. And we like, it's okay, big fella. I had 4 points. He had 2. You had 36. It's okay. Yeah, it's grumpy sometimes. It's okay. And but those are the things, and like we like to share these stories because it humanizes the people that we talk about and our teammates. So when we're discussing it, it's not glazing. It's not this. It's just like, no, man, you get to watch a person be human. You get to watch him be a dad. So our view is always going to be different. Now we'll hold him accountable. We'll talk some shit when he's on some bullshit, but I think that, to me, even when we were talking about Kyrie, it's like Kyrie wasn't at dinners all the time, but once we got to that playoff mark, Kyrie was there. Kyrie was at dinners. He was at events. He was so I always want to humanize and support the players, especially from a space that other people don't know.
There are a couple of people in our chat that have been rolling with us since 2017 and have heard this story again. And one, I will say shout out to you guys because you're the Road Trippin' faithful. But two, we still have a lot of new listeners. So that was a great story that I love hearing over and over. One. Someone did say he was 31 and stressed.
They don't get exclusive stories with 200 likes. And I'm sorry, Miss James, but they don't like, come on.
You get your one time to remind everyone to go hit that like button. Again, if you exit out of the chat and you hit the like button, a fun little
It's the
basketball
thumbs up.
about.
It's the not a like. It's a thumbs up button.
Whatever. Thumbs up. Yes. Sorry. My bad. Did you really just flip me off? Did you forget that you were on camera?
No. Double birds.
Okay. I do have some stories, but I've been told that I can't tell. What is your story, Channing?
Same kind of grouchy brawn. He wore a shiesty where all you could see, basically a beanie, covered his mouth. All you could see was his eyes for like a week straight and wouldn't talk to anybody.
Wait, when was this?
You don't remember that? I guess it was like right when I first got there. Something was happening.
He was mad they traded Anderson Varejao for your ass.
Yeah, they were mad that Channing was on the team. He didn't talk to anybody.
Your face so close to the camera.
Wait, what? I don't remember this.
Ask him about it. He had it for like, I promise you, 4 or 5 days. On an airplane, he'd play cards with it and wouldn't talk to anybody. And all you saw was this. As soon as the game was over, or like he didn't have to do media, whoop, put his thing back on. Big moody ass.
That's hilarious. Rich, some people in the chat want to hear some San Antonio stories. We need a Rich Spurs story.
Hey, ask him about when Amari Stoudemire boomed his ass. The greatest moment of my career. I'm so glad I was on the court there.
What's a great San Antonio story? Oh, again, we've been telling these stories for 10 years.
I don't have a lot of your. I don't know a lot of your San Antonio stories.
The San Antonio stuff. Well, I was the worst part of San Antonio. Right? The fans hated me. They liked me, but they hated me. I've gotten some passes, but I've told most of my stories with San Antonio. Again, we've been telling stories to you guys for a decade. Like, we're not making new stories. And we started this podcast at the end of our careers. So it was kind of like I went 17 years. We started this in year 15, year 16. So I told y'all 10 years worth of 16 seasons of stories. So most of the ones that I can't tell y'all, I can't tell y'all. I will give you a funny story about Zoran Planinic. So we're going to go deep into this. Zoran Planinic. He was my Croatian rookie. Now, was he new in America? Yes. So we go to Atlanta, and this was back when certain things were still legal in the NBA. You know, guys can smoke weed right now. So we'll tell you guys a story. So we all hang out. We go down into the car. This is back in the limo days. This is before Escalades and all that. So this was in the limo. We get in the limo, get in the car. And we sit in the car. There's probably 3 of us. He looks over at me. Zoran looks at me and starts speaking Croatian. And I look at him, and he looks at me again and starts speaking Croatian. And I look at him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Richard. I'm so fucked up." I was like, "Why is he not?" I asked you what time practice was. But he's speaking in a completely different language because that's how fucked up he was. He thought that I could speak Croatian. He was on another planet. Now, these are the stories that we have that we truly can't tell, that we have thousands of these stories. But it's just, there's podcast stories, y'all, and we've done most of them. But there's NBA stories that
we're going to die with.
That we will die with.
I'm going to die.
And that's why it's fun, because we can get on here and kind of tell y'all as
and
much
tease
as we
everyone.
can. But we can't tell you those stories because you know what? Our jobs are not predicated on our relationships are more important than telling all the stories. I could tell you. Yeah,
as he goes. I thought you were going to tell another one. I was like, well,
I have one more story. No, that's not.
Save it for the end of the pod.
I will. No, I'll tell the story. This is a story. I'll tell. I just have to frame it in a way. So, a couple of guys go out, and
Who?
they both start talking. No, I'll never say who. They both start talking to, like, they meet this girl. And they both start talking to her. And she was like, I think it was like TSA or something. You know how when we get on the planes, we have a thing. So we're kind of sitting there. So they're talking to this young lady. And so they're talking to one lady. It was like one of our rookies. This was in like 2008. So it was one of our rookies. So he's like, hey, we're going over here. We're going to be there for 3 days. You should come hang out. So she's like, okay, cool. So this guy was like, he brings this girl out, and we all go out. So he's got this woman he just met, and he's like, he's not talking to her at all. He's not talking to her at all because he's just like, oh, you're there. But he's giving her no attention, no respect. So she's like, all right. So she starts talking to one of his teammates, right? And then after a while, she was like, forget this guy, and leaves with one of his teammates. This guy starts going down the hallway. Look, he's like, hey, where you owe me money for a plane ticket.
Yelling that in the hallway?
He's going down the hall because I don't think this is, we had the sheets for the rooms.
Yeah.
He had the sheets for the room. So he doesn't know who she left with. So he's just mad that basically somebody took this girl that he just met and flew out. And he's like, wait, so one of y'all owe me a plane ticket?
What?
And when I tell y'all, I could tell y'all 10,000 more of stories of different variations, but we are a basketball podcast. We are not here for the drama. We are not here for the rumors. We will tell y'all stories. But when I tell y'all the shit that we have seen, y'all wouldn't believe it.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. I'm crying in my room, hearing this drunk idiot walking to, somebody owes me a plane flight.
That is amazing.
I was like, bro, you didn't talk to her. I watched. I saw her just be like, man, forget you, bro. And I'm like, yeah. All right.
Dude.
It's not that serious. I ain't going to lie. I would have been upset too. Did they pay him back? Ace English 513 wants to know, did they pay him back?
You know the rules of the game.
This is amazing.
Like,
this is what Road Trippin started out like.
You met somebody, you were flirting with her, and she was like, hey, give me your number. Oh, is she gonna come hang out because we're gonna be in whatever? So he brings her out, and she's whatever, and we're all out in the club, and he's not paying any attention. So she was like, hey, Mike, what's your name, what's your story? And fucking dipped. And I hear him in the hallway drop, somebody owes me a plane because he didn't know who left with his girl.
Dog, that's ridiculous.
Honest Brown said, y'all need to do a Road Trippin' book when the show ends 20 years from now. I was about to say, we're up.
No.
You don't I
think that's a great idea.
There is a respect and a brotherhood and a rules to the game. We can tell as much as we can tell without violating other. I can tell you stories about me. Jan can tell you stories about him. I'm not telling other people's stories.
No, hell no.
You guys do a great job of that. Okay, with that said, let's get into what Rich just said Road Trippin' is currently right now, which is a basketball show. So for our Road Trippin' pick segment presented by Fanatics Sportsbook, make sure you download the Fanatics Sportsbook app because our picks are available on there right now. I just want you guys to know that I made picks this week. I made picks. Roll with mine. With that said,
okay.
Why should you roll with mine? Because last week, all 3 of my teammates lost. Sorry, but it was disgustingly close. You guys want to know how close this was last week?
Yes, give it to us.
This is the fun part. Pistons only won by 3. Perk said they would cover 7. Cade had 25. Channing said under 25.
No.
Jaylen Brown had 28. The line was 28 and a half. Half a point, Rich. You lost.
What? Half a point. Listen, 0.5 is a lot.
0.5 is a lot, especially depending on who's making the bet. All right, so we got to lock in. All right, for tonight, let's see how well you guys remember your picks. We got Knicks at Nuggets. Knicks are coming off a close loss to the Thunder. Nuggets are on a back-to-back that win over the Lakers last night. Richard, who wins tonight? Spread is 1.5 in favor of the Knicks, but it's expected to be a close one.
Ooh, it's always tough because the Garden, right? It brings out the best. The spread is in. Look, I'm gonna go with the spread.
At Denver.
It's in Denver.
Oh, like I said, I'm 100% wrong.
Altitude.
It was back-to-back.
That's
It
what you
was
meant to say.
Nuggets. It was Nuggets LA. I was thinking back-to-back, my bad.
Yeah.
What I would say is this. I'm going to go with the spread off the back-to-back. I'm going to lean towards the spread because I did such a terrible job before. So I'm going to say they're going to cover the spread.
You're going to cover the spread. Okay. Channing,
The Knicks are going to win.
Will Cat score over or under 18? He had 17 and 17 their last game.
He's going to have over 17 points.
Ooh, he sounds so serious. Allie.
He sounds so calm. He's locked in.
Allie, Jalen Brunson, over or under 7 assists. Last 4 games, he's averaging just under 9. So what did Allie take? She took the over.
What?
I just want you to know the original number was 8. I said under. Then 10 minutes later, it got changed to 7. And I said, motherfucker. And I took the over. So roll with me. That's all I got to say. To everybody, all of us, let's weigh in. Does Jokic get a triple-double? 2 out of his last 4,
No.
he's gotten one.
No.
What?
I don't think he does. I don't think he gets an assist, personally. I don't think he gets an assist.
I think they don't have is Mitchell Robinson still out? Because I don't think they have a position player for him, so that implies to me that they potentially would have to give him help. You would have to help, and that's where Jokic gets his assist, right? You come and help. If your defense is shading towards him, he picks you apart. I feel like he most likely will. He's averaging a triple-double right there, so yes, I'm going to lean towards his average.
We will see.
We'll go to match up with Denver. Big man, Carlo, Anthony Townsend, Mitchell Robinson will be the primary defenders. Yeah.
Over under 350 likes.
All right. Does Cat get a double-double? 5 out of the last 6, he's had one.
Yes.
Yes. Josh Hart, double-double. He's had a double-double 2 out of their last 4.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
No?
No.
I'm going to say no because I think he gets offensive rebounds. He does a great job crashing from the corners. I don't know. I'm making this shit up. So as Channing yawns, I'm expressing to you guys
it's cold
that
here.
I think Jokic will clean up the defensive glass, limit offensive rebounds. That may take 1-2 away. Aaron Gordon returns as well. Oh,
I was just looking that up. Is that for sure? Christian, did you see that? Aaron Gordon? Game time decision, which when we know game time decision, probable, questionable, doubtful, you guys know the percentages. So, yeah, that would be great. How about the line last night from Jamal Murray when asked about his effectiveness against the Lakers? He was like, yo, I've been balling. It's not just against the Lakers. Get it right. Get it right. Get it tight.
But it's something about the Lakers, brother. He think they are sweet.
Well, are they?
Licking his chops versus the Lakers.
He does what he's supposed to do. That's the thing about Jamal Murray, and I'm glad that he had this season that he's having. He had always been such an elite playoff performer. Conference finals, championship, like the numbers that he put up in the finals, the game winners against the Lakers in the postseason. He's got multiple. He is an all-star. I think this was the first season that he figured out his offseason. He did all of the things that he needed to. Jamal Murray is an all-star. He'll forever be an all-star, but he's done all-star things long before this season.
Things Rome, but not Italy. I had 45 last game. That's what he said. I've been balling. It's not just the Lakers. I had 45. That's exactly
Jamal's
what the
working
quote
on that
was.
All-NBA. He's working on that All-NBA right now. That's the thing. We talk about all-stars and this. He's approaching All-NBA status, whether it's third team, whatever. If Denver finishes it in the top 2 or 3, like in the numbers that he's put up, he's approaching All-NBA status.
And that goes back to the offseason, Rich. I remember hearing you talk about it on an ESPN broadcast, and I remember sitting in the meeting at the beginning of the year with Adelman for a Prime broadcast, how he was talking about the different offseason Jamal Murray had and how he approached it. Normally in the past, he would just go hard in terms of working out all the time, playing all the time, thinking that was the key. But this year, he took a balance approach where some time off, some time in the gym, but stuck around Denver, organized team dinners and outings with his teammates, and he was the guy leading that, and something that started obviously way before the season, and you can see it rolling over for Jamal. Not to get off topic there, but we will stay in the Western Conference. For those of you that are in the chat, you guys have been wanting the Spurs conversation, so we go there next. Victor Wembanyama, 38-16, 5 blocks in the Spurs 121-106 victory against the Pistons. De'Aaron Fox had 29. Stephon Castle had 11 and 12 dimes. In the last week, the Pistons have beaten the defending champion OKC Thunder, Cleveland, and Orlando, and lost to Cleveland and San Antonio. Spurs, on the other hand, have only lost 1 game since January. First, let's start with the Pistons. We're going to go into the Spurs next. Biggest concern for the Pistons going into the playoffs? You guys touched on it a little bit.
Offensive consistency, to me. Offensive consistency. I think, Cade is going to be special. Duran's going to be special. What are you going to get out of Tobias? What are you going to get out of Duncan Robinson? What are you going to get out of that bench? And this is where, this is exciting because they have guys that have the talent to do special stuff. We just need to see it, right? We've never seen it before. We're waiting to see. I can't say, oh, this guy's going to do it or that guy's going to do it. Somebody's going to have to step up for the Pistons because as soon as Cade gets going, they're just going to double team him and rotate. But then you're stuck having guards trying to rebound with Beef Stew and Duran, which isn't going to work. So, and then their shooting has been a little inconsistent, but they're just so physical. They offensive rebound and crash the glass. They're a very old school team.
I think that they're a conference finals. If Detroit gets to I understand this. We've talked about that jump that teams make. OKC lost in the second round and they won a championship. Denver's had, some issues, like Boston had some losses and then they got over the hump. It's very hard. I don't think that I'm trying to think, maybe Golden State was then, I think we talked about this, to not make the postseason or to lose in the first round and then to win a championship the next year. Those things are very, very hard to do. You need experience. You need understanding. So I think the Pistons, if you look at the last 10 NBA champions, they might have the regular season record, but do they have a similar roster of past NBA champions? Denver, 2 primary scorers. You look at Boston, 2 primary scorers. Golden State, we know about their offensive power. You look at Milwaukee, it was a 2-headed monster when you had Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton on top of Giannis, who might have been the best player in the world that year. So when you look at the collective champions over the last 10 or so years, does Detroit have that model? No. Denver does. OKC does. There's a lot of teams that do. The Knicks, that's why we talk about what's his name, Karl Anthony Towns so much, is because we need him to be a 25 to 30 point a game scorer. The 19 to 22, I don't care how many rebounds, how many blocks, you got to be 25 to 30 for you to do that, because there's been a formula that's been done over time. So when I look at that, we ask, who's going to step up? Who's going to do these things? Same with Houston. Who's going to be the second primary scorer? Julius Randle has done it, but is he the guy in Minnesota? So right. I believe, even when you look at Wemby and the Spurs, they got Wemby, but Wemby's still figuring out how great he can be. And then they have a ton of guys that are very, very good defensively, but they're lacking shooting. So that was the parity question that we had discussed earlier.
Quick question, engage with the chat. Pistons second round exit, then beef up next year. Curryman 12-26. Ryder said Cavs will take out Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Ooh. That will be a great series, but I don't. What version of Evan Mobley are we going to get? And what version of Jared Allen are we going to get? Those are my 2 biggest questions, because we've seen in the past they don't do well with physicality. And you've just put them up against the 2 most physical players in the NBA. So for me, I think what I'm loving out of Jared Allen is that James Harden has him feeling a certain way, feeling good. And so, I guess there's a lot of what ifs for all these teams. This is kind of crazy when you really think about it, So I think I'll take Cleveland. I'm a homer. But.
Rich, what was that reaction to Channing's thought?
No, well, you tell me what that reaction was.
I just liked Channing getting excited and geeked about matchups.
Well, because
something that
putting-
stumps
there's so
him.
much
People
parity, it's ridiculous, right? It's not like no one team is that down. Like, obviously, the Spurs are doing well, but we just went for 10 minutes and said about what they need to do better. Like, we could say OKC, they've been great, but there's still room to get better. Every single team, the parity in the NBA is pretty awesome right now.
Mo from NYC tapping into the chat. All right, let's move to the San Antonio side. What concerns you most about the Spurs? 6 weeks to go in the
Wemby's
regular
health?
season.
Wemby's health, that's it.
Okay. So let's, because I like to go with the approach that we assume everyone's healthy. We assume. So
Scoring off
using
the
that-
bench.
Scoring off the bench. Well, they got Keldon Johnson. They got guys. I think they're shooting. I think they're shooting, and it's like when the game slows down, when the game gets to that. Okay, De'Aaron Fox has the ball. He's running a pick and roll with Wemby. Wemby's rolling. The teams pull in, and now it's Castle shooting. It's Vassell shooting. It's
Harrison Barnes.
It's Harrison Barnes. So like if those guys make shots, if they shoot between 35 and 40% from three, like there's 3-4 guys. We had, I think, 5 or 6 guys that were shooting 39% or better going into the finals. Right? So when that's just such a powerful formula that's the only thing that they're lacking. What did the Lakers do? They went and got shooting. What was OKC missing? They were missing a big. They went and got a big in Hartenstein. So it's like you look at teams oftentimes fill in the gaps in year 2. This is year 1 for OKC. Excuse me, for San Antonio. This is year 1. This is a year that we are real. Wemby's established himself. This is year 1. It is hard to win a championship in year 1 of your greatness. Warriors didn't do it. OKC didn't do it. Boston, you see how long it took them to get over the hump. It's hard to do it in year 1. It doesn't mean they won't get to the conference finals. Won't they mean they won't go to the NBA finals? It means that it's hard to do.
Fair. Facts. Love it. We had a further conversation that we will get to either on this episode or on Tuesday when it comes to the Spurs and the Pistons specifically. But for now, we have a little breaking news. Do you guys want to know what the breaking news is? All
Yes.
eyes are on the
Jason
Boston
Tatum
Celtics.
available.
Jason Tatum is available. Will return to action tonight for the Celtics. I do want to just say this. Yesterday, Joe Mazzulla had a funny response when asked about Jason Tatum's theory because people thought maybe he would return either today or on March 14, which is 3/14, because Tatum's hometown area code is 314, and he signed a contract extension worth $314 million. Guess what Joe Mazzulla's reaction was? I may not even be alive by that day. I go to sleep questionable, I wake up probable. Well, Joe Mazzulla, one of your superstar players is now available. So, 1, what is JT's role going to be? And 2, is Joe Mazzulla the funniest NBA coach there is?
By far.
Yes.
By far.
Depends on how you
Have
like
you met
your
him yet?
humor.
Have you had meetings yet with him, Allie?
You know what's funny is I had the Celtics once. It was the game after All-Star, but I had to go out and interview KP, ironically, and so I missed the meeting with Joe.
Joe is he's one of the smartest coaches, one of the best coaches. He's got a grumpiness to him that you kind of love. He's got an intention. He actually reminds me of Pop from a standpoint of
That's interesting.
he always looks for the bigger emotional picture, right? He looks like, Jason Tatum was in a space where it's like, gosh, what else can I do? And he's like, who cares? He's like, when you're trying to be as great as you are, everyone is always going to be a critic. So he doesn't even like hearing great players complain about the intensity and all of the things. He's like, this is what you wanted. Because if you were trying to be a great player for the Celtics, 1 championship, a couple all NBAs, that's not what your goal is. So why are we going to complain during the journey, during the process? That's his thing. He always gives like a macro view of what's going on. It's never like live and die by one game. I think great coaches don't just coach basketball. They coach humans, they coach life, they coach experiences, they coach growth. And I think that's what Joe Mazzulla does. He's not just coaching basketball and X's and O's. There's great X's and O coaches. They walk in, they give you information, and you're like, okay, thanks. And then there's other coaches like Pop that will You know, he's like, guys, Pop would be like, hey guys, we've lost 3 in a row. Where everyone's down. He goes, we don't have a problem. And then he shows a video. He puts a video up, and it's like these kids in some foreign country that are like having to navigate so much. And he's like, these kids have problems. We have an opportunity. We have a challenge. That's coaching life. That's not just coaching basketball. And I think Joe Mazzulla is similar.
I honestly didn't believe in Joe Mazzulla at the beginning. I didn't think the whole Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown thing would work. And then over the years, I've respected him so much more because you look at how bought in all his players are. Everyone who's gone through Boston has had great years, successful years. And then you're looking at Jaylen Brown, looking at how successful he is without Jason Tatum. Then you realize how much that both of those players give up for the success of the team. Only a coach that they believe could get them to work like that. Also, he says stuff that is very, very funny. Like, you know, or you know, the story about him playing war sounds before the thing, or the reason that he goes, hey, teams that win, they run. You know how, like, if you lose, you're supposed to run? He goes, why am I punishing the loser? I'm supposed to, it gets harder to win and win every single time. So if you win the game, you got to run.
That's
and he goes,
psycho.
you should want to win. That's psycho. But
Yeah.
but
Yes.
the way he explains it, then they go, well, what's up with the system? And if you listen to him talk about how to create 2-on-1s and make decisions, he does it so fast. And then when you think about it, you go, that is ingenious. That is absolutely, he goes, if you're a shooter, you shoot it. If you're not a shooter, you drive, create another 2-on-1 kick, keep your body moving, boom, and we're looking, and then get to a place where you can shoot it, or you can create opportunity for yourself or your teammate. And you go, damn, that's so easy. That's why they shoot the way they shoot, is that this is the right shot. I'm not looking at how many. I'm just looking at this shot right now, and that's why they shoot, 53s a game.
Well, and that's what he said. He goes, in the past, I had 2 40% shooters in the corners. So I was like, let's get to a 2-on-1. I believe that you guys can shoot 1,000 of those shots, and that's great basketball. Now we might have more drivers in those corners, so our system will change based off of the assets and the players that we have. But when you guys were looking at us shooting 53s, it's because if I can get a 2-on-1 and I can get an open shot for Drew Holiday, who's leading the NBA in 3-point percentage from the corner, I want a 2-on-1 for him to have a shot or to make a play.
Right.
So I will say this. It's a tie because I think Joe Mazzulla has some uniqueness to him. I think it's a tie between him and JJ Redick. And people, if you know the two of them, they are very, very similar. They have a tremendous amount of respect between the two of them. But JJ's funny as shit too. JJ, he has so much more grays now than he did 18 months ago.
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
Someone
more.
just pointed that out the other day. Y'all are rude for that.
Yeah.
I do want to say
that's
this. I want
something
to point out 2 quotes, and then I want your guys' thought on JT. We got to get to our road rules, and then you got to get out, Rich. San Diego Jack, A55, people who don't want discipline in their lives wouldn't want Joe Mazzulla to be their coach. I actually love that. I think that's a great point. He also said not too long ago that, where are you at, San Diego Jack? East just got a bit more interesting. Joe reminds me of Richard, sarcastic as fuck, and it's funny. And I love it. He said it's funny. It's a compliment. What do you guys see? I believe we just saw, too, that Jason Tatum is projected to start. Obviously. He's not coming back to be a role player, Doc, as he said.
Yeah, but there's minute restrictions. There's minute restrictions.
Right.
And
Start him, get
But
the
don't you
attention.
guys wonder, though, that point right there, don't you think that coming off of warming up, it's better to keep him warm, start him?
Yep. Start him.
then-
Let him play 3-4 minutes. Get used to it. Get all those jitters out. Right. Have the crowd roaring. Play him maybe 3 to 4, maybe 6 minutes. When he comes out, you really start to say, how do you feel? What's going on? How do we work this out? And then keep him going and just start to build him up. Today is about just getting a lot of love. It's about coming back and getting all those feels back.
Kudos to Jason Tatum, less than a year and returning.
Yes.
Technology is crazy.
Congratulations.
Technology and discipline.
That certainly is awesome. All right, our road rule segment. By the letter of the law, is this a travel?
Oh, bink. Oh, man. What in the hell? That dude
What-
hooping in wheelies?
Well, what is it a travel? Yes, you're not allowed to slide.
If you
your
guys
feet.
aren't laughing in the chat at this, something's wrong with you. You're Joe Mazzulla.
If you are sliding your feet, you have to hold your pivot foot down. That is a travel.
You are not serious.
That's hilarious.
Okay,
That boy is scooting
how
out there.
bad? This is a sidebar. Draymond. Last night from the game.
Oh.
How bad was this Draymond tech on a scale of 1 to 10? You guys, the
It's a
call
7.
happened. It was Warriors ball already. And Draymond does this with a dead ball.
I just think I don't want to say he's bored. He played a lot of basketball, and sometimes I think he blacks out.
Channing.
Someone said Draymond's brain needs to be studied.
Channing.
Yeah, dude,
Channing.
this is some
Come
bullshit.
on, man.
I'd be so mad. It's
There
so
we go.
stupid. I would be so mad.
There's Channing Frye. There's Channing
But it's just
Frye.
like, what are you doing?
I love Dre. That was my rookie. I love him. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
This
He
is
knows
so
it. I think he
funny.
gets frustrated at times, but it's like Dre.
You just want to fuck with somebody all the time.
He does. He
Frustrated.
wants to
They were
fuck- and
winning. They won the game.
Yeah, but
I love that. But I'm also like, if someone were to do that to Dre would try and kill them. If someone were to do that to Steph, he would try and kill them. So, and rightfully so. If someone were to grab Steph's leg like that, what would Draymond do?
Oh boy.
Right? Thank you. He would go crazy in defense of Steph. And so that's the thing, is that I would play on Draymond's team. I want Draymond on my team. I love his fire. I love his passion. But that doesn't mean that your guard dog can't bite somebody and you got to apologize.
I'm
right?
only
It's
pointing.
like,
What?
No. I was just saying, it's like, that's the thing, is like, those are the things that you're like, Dre, we can't have those things. But that's been said. He knows it. He understands. But it's like, those are the things that like cause more
he
problems.
crashes out once a game. He's gonna do something once a game. He's gonna do something where you're like, what are you? Why? Where are you at right now?
I'm only pointing this out because we often refer to Richard, or if you're ever friends or hang out with anyone that's friends with Richard, they'll call him their favorite asshole. And someone in the chat said, Draymond is a brilliant idiot. It's just funny. All right, we're going to end the show because Richard is on assignment working on The Richard Show. And part 2 of The Richard Show, presented by Road Trippin with Gilbert Arenas, is out now. Take a look at this clip.
We have you surrounded.
Surrounded. Come outside with your hands up.
6 a.m. There's 40 federal agents at your house. Was there a helicopter, a battering
Yes.
ram?
Yeah. The battering ram, it took them too long to get up the stairs. I knew they didn't have me surrounded though, because the house is kind of big. So, but I understood what they were saying.
Were there neighbors watching?
Across the street.
You live in
All
where,
Caucasians.
Pleasant.
Get off to the house street.
You don't get me kicked
My
out here, man.
HOA says no loud noise.
Did you know why you were getting arrested?
No. When I'm running down the stairs after you guys see me, I still didn't know why I was arrested.
What is wrong with him? He said all
Gilbert?
Caucasians.
Yeah. You see, I try to dance. I'm like, you live in Pleasantville. And it was like, first of all, shout out Gilbert. So we recorded it and it was a long time. And Gilbert, we sent him approval. And he's like, if I say it, I approve it. And I'm like, Gil, please watch the video. Please watch the video, Gil. Please, the things that you're saying, Gilbert. I think the Gilbert Arenas podcast with Nick Young and all of this crew, one of the best podcasts of all time. Go watch it. It's on our YouTube page. But Gilbert's different. People are like, "Hey, Rich, why don't you go on Gilbert's show?" I'm like, Homeland Security just surrounded his house. He just surrounded his house. I would be an accomplice. I don't know what he got going on. Like they say, you can't eat everybody's food. You can't go to everybody's house. And I am not trying to be a part of any surveillance. I'm not trying to be an accomplice. So I appreciate Gil showing up and hanging out. But let's be honest.
Again, The Richard Show, presented by Road Trippin. Part 2 with Gilbert is out now. Go check it out on the YouTube page. Can you give us a sneak peek at who you're working on now?
God, I'm so proud of you. We got J-Dub. So J-Dub is coming on. We got the new Jared McCain, the new OKC, favorite, the young guy that's showing up. So we got Jared McCain, and we got J-Dub. So they will be coming very, very, very soon on the Richard Show. I'm excited for them. I'm excited these guys say yes. Anytime somebody sits down, it's for you guys. My job has always been like, hey, let's bring road tripping. Let's bring an interview. Let's have these guys laugh for 10, 15 minutes, have you get to know them, because so many of these podcasts are just about, hey, this player's better or this player's trash. It's like, well, how about we get to know the players? And so that's always been our goal. No one tells our stories better than us here on Road Tripping. So what I want is just to have fun, crack jokes, and these guys are signing up. So I'm blessed.
And he also has someone coming that was a part of the 2016 Cavs championship team, and it is not Channing Frye. It's not his first guest.
Thank God.
Wait, are you saying no to coming on the Richard Show, Channing? Are you saying no?
No, I'm not. Richard,
Yeah,
I literally record at Road Tripping at
Richard Show is different. Richard Show is different. Richard Show is different.
He's going to come sit in your house.
I got to come up to Portland. We're going to record it. We're going to record it at the house, at the Dolphin House. We're going to record that when you're in town. We'll have it set up so you'll go from one recording, one production to another production. You need to get Luca. I'm trying to get Luca. We're close. We're close. They're in the middle of a lot of stuff. We got a lot of ask out. So
someone in the chat wants you to get Charles Barkley. So maybe you guys can get
Chuckster
working on that. Yeah.
Chuck will be funny.
All right. Nonetheless, again, we're thinking about going to an hour.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, Mo.
We're going thinking about going to an hour and a half, possibly 2 hours, and maybe we will start next week, because I know a lot of you are so sad that we are going to have to run after this hour spent with you. But nonetheless, every Tuesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, Road Trippin' live, of course. Go check out the Richard Show presented by Road Trippin', and for Richard, for Channing, for Big Perk the plug.
Wait a second. Real quick. We got the mailbag. So we're gonna need Channing. We're gonna need you guys to send your questions. Channing's gonna be crushing the mailbag. He's gonna be answering.
Don't be asking me nasty stuff either.
Yeah, he'll answer those.
No. I want you to live like it is like for a woman sometimes, Channing. Just take all the questions.
Channing,
Show him your feet, Channing.
They don't want to see these big honkies.
That's disgusting. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Road Trippin'. Thanks, y'all.
See ya.